I ranked every unstable SMP villain, and you won't believe what I found. From sidekicks to masterminds who nearly destroyed the server entirely, I'm breaking down every villain and ranking them on a tier list. But before we start, consider subscribing and dropping a like, as these videos take hours of research and your support means everything. Starting at F tier, we have Foray MC. Foray is clownpierce's right-hand man, one of the guards who monopolizes the nether alongside Clown. He's got that special redstone trim armor, which marks him as one of Ashswag's most trusted mafia members. Speaking of Ashswag, he hired Foray to kidnap wifies as a hostage and threatened to kill Eggchan to force wemmbu to surrender. But here's the problem: when wemmbu and Eggchan came back with TNT missiles and stripped him of his armor, Foray gave up his mace just to survive. A true villain fights back harder. Foray MC is just an assistant. He follows orders from more powerful villains and has no personal motivation beyond serving clownpierce. That's textbook F tier. At D tier is Boostfur, the master of ragebait. He hired wemmbu and Eggchan to destroy entire biomes, paying them in stacks of netherite, but his whole treasure hunting operation ended up being just a front for schemes. Boostfur also manipulated flamefrags by dangling information about wembu's location, refusing to share unless Flame worked for him. This goes to show that he's not just a worker like Foray. Instead, he's a villain who's willing to manipulate just to get what he wants. But when his schemes backfired, when wemmbu destroyed his base and emptied his vault, Boostfur didn't declare war. He just moved to the next money-making scheme. He's destructive but never threatens the entire server. He's content with being a nuisance rather than a nightmare, which keeps him at D tier. At B tier, we have Prince Zam. Zam's villain arc started from paranoia and an obsessive need for control. In Season 1, Zam built the Zam Empire, constructing a massive wall around Spawn and claiming all land as Empire property. He chunk-banned Squiddo just for having information about Spoke. He terrorized his own guards through intimidation and paid clownpierce to assassinate Parrot X2. Zam and wemmbu started as close allies, but Zam's paranoia destroyed that. He asked wemmbu to build a colony to guard a vault. Then the vault turned out to be empty. The whole thing was a trap to get rid of wemmbu. When wemmbu came back with an orbital strike cannon and destroyed the entire Zam Empire, Zam's true character was exposed. He's insecure, dramatic, desperately clinging to power he can't maintain. Later, clownpierce trapped both Zam and wemmbu in an escape room as punishment. They were forced to work together to survive. Zam's empire fell, his paranoia consumed him, and he ended up imprisoned by Lettucek before being broken out by Spoke. He's a tragic villain whose need for control destroyed everything he built. That tragedy keeps him at B tier. A tier has two villains who deserve equal recognition: clownpierce and Lettucek. Clownpierce is pure ruthlessness. He monopolized the nether, controlling all its resources alongside Foray MC and mug him. When Prince Sam paid him to assassinate Parrot X2, Clown didn't just hunt him. He built a carnival for a fair 1v1, trapped Parrot with mining fatigue, and forced him to fight. He built Proton, an inescapable prison, trapping 7 players including Parrot, wifies, Darapchu, Chumpahoo, Canadian, Joseko, and Recrap 2. Clown enjoys the fear he creates. He killed wembu's villagers for information. He blew up wifies' base and destroyed the terrain around it. When Parrot tried trapping him with 30,000 TNT, Clown survived and retaliated by destroying Bat Headquarters' secret meeting room. He kidnapped Branzia's leverage. He destroyed all the ominous trial vaults, making maces and heavy cores permanently scarce. The few that remain are the last on the server. Players created entire alliances just to try killing him. He's the physical embodiment of danger. During the Mafia arc, he worked as Ashswag's enforcer, killing Mafia members who disobeyed. He trapped wemmbu and Prince Sam in an escape room designed by Watto just for entertainment. Lettucek is the false savior. In Season 1, Lettuce was a member of the Zam Empire, participated in destroying wembu's civilization, joined the End civilization, worked as a miner in Capital City, and was part of multiple civilizations including Skyblock and Ice Mountain. Season 2 is where Lettuce became a true villain. After wemmbu and flamefrags killed 1,000 players in the 2v1000 battle, Lettuce weaponized the tragedy. He captured wemmbu along with 4 other prisoners: Bablu, Fanst, Prince Zam, and Blurpenstein. He watched them mine and complete tasks like a warden. Then Lettuce held a server-wide meeting and announced a vote to elect a king to rule Unstable. He gave a speech about how the server needs a ruler to protect everyone. He forced the captured wemmbu onto the stage and announced that if elected, his first act would be executing wemmbu as a warning to all criminals. But here's the twisted part. Lettuce leads the law and is one of the only mace wielders on Unstable. He controls the bounty assassin team from the director arc. He has access to resources that don't make sense. Maces, elytra, thousands of sets of diamond gear. Where did all that come from? Lettuce vilified Wembu and Flame while painting himself as the victim. He's running a propaganda campaign, convincing the server that dictatorship is salvation. Players are falling for it because they're terrified. He's installing himself as a benevolent dictator and the server is letting him do it. He even held another meeting to display who's running for king, keeping everyone focused on his election. Both deserve A tier because they operate at a server-wide level. Clown through fear and combat, Lettuce through manipulation and false heroism. Next up is S tier. First up in S tier we have Ashswag. Ashswag is the puppet master. As the leader of the invisible mafia, he didn't just want power, he nearly achieved total domination. He brainwashed players into joining the mafia upon spawning, holding them hostage with a master stasis chamber. If he died, everyone in the mafia died with him, including innocent brainwashed players. Ash pretended to be poor around Spoke to gain his trust, only to betray him spectacularly. He convinced Minitech to work as a spy, then revealed Minitech's betrayal at the perfect moment to break Spoke's team apart. He destroyed the Farland civilization after taking their warriors hostage. He patched all the exploits by forcing Jamato P to reveal them. And his most villainous act, after wifies joined the mafia to save Parrot, Ashswag killed wifies by dropping him into the void right in front of Parrot. That single act traumatized Parrot more than anything else in the entire series. Even after defeat, Ash's influence lingers. When Spoke spared him, Ashswag predicted Spoke would become an even greater villain, a prediction that's literally shaping Season 2. He represents systematic evil at the highest level. Wifies is the psychological torturer. Wifies was Parrot's best friend and closest ally through Season 1, their mutual trust remaining constant. But then he became the main antagonist of the director arc. As the director, Wifies faked his death with Ashswag's help using a dog swap trick. He became an invisible player with a voice changer, hunting down his own best friend. He hired It's Real Me to kill Parrot. When that failed, he hired Mr. Cube 6. Through books, he taunted Parrot and Bat, revealing information only the director should know, like the dandelion given to Cube. When Bat falsely accused Parrot of being the director, Wifies left him a book saying it was time to meet face to face. During their meeting, fully invisible with quartz flow trim netherite, Wifies said the voice changer wasn't to protect himself, it was to protect Parrot. Because if Parrot knew who the dictator really was, he wouldn't be angry, he'd be terrified. Wifies hired True Original, a hacker, to kill Parrot. He killed Newfly with an arrow cannon. He rescued Mr. Cube 6 when Bat captured him. He sent messages telling Parrot he couldn't beat him in a story he wrote. Finally, he trapped Jumpahu and Darapchu, forcing Parrot to guess his identity to free them. When he revealed himself as Wifies, he explained he did everything to protect Parrot. Wifies trapped Parrot in Paragon, a prison within a prison. He knew every item in Parrot's hotbar, every hunger bar he had left. He had revealed he'd been using Jumpahu, Darapchu, and Leowook as his guards. He brought Parrot to a pressure plate trap where stepping off meant the whole place exploded. Parrot smuggled in his spyglass, dropped it on the pressure plate, and escaped. Wifies stepped off to pick up the spyglass, and the entire base exploded, killing him. The director arc dominated Season 1 and shaped Parrot's entire character. Wifies ranks in S tier because his villainy is rooted in love corrupted by fear, and the psychological damage he caused cuts deeper than any physical threat. Spokeishere is the ultimate villain. In Season 1, Spoke discovered exploits and introduced them to the server. He paid Squiddo to build the wonders just to store glitched items inside them. When Wembu discovered this, Spoke used an orbital cannon to destroy the wonders and trapped Wembu in a room full of chest minecarts. Now that may all seem like nothing, but here's where it gets dark. During the Mafia infiltration, Spoke, Mapic, and Leo agreed not to kill innocent players, but when Ashswag gave Spoke a solo mission to kill iMajestic Rose, an innocent player building a house with her little brother, Spoke did it without hesitation. He led her into a trap and killed her with dripstone. Mapic told him he sounded like Ashswag, and that comparison hit hard because it was true. After defeating the Mafia, Ashswag told Spoke something chilling. Spoke will follow his path. Spoke will become even more cruel. Spoke will become the villain. Spoke didn't deny it. What makes Spoke the greatest villain is that he's still seen as a protagonist by many. When he finally turns completely, the server won't see it coming. He has the skill, the mindset, and the lack of morality required to surpass even Ashswag. That's why Spoke shares the top of S tier as the villain in waiting who might become the greatest of all time. So there you have it, from Assistance to Spoke's S tier villain transformation, these are the ranked villains of Unstable SMP. Subscribe and let me know in the comments if you agree with these rankings.